So a person I've known for like 30 years sent me a message about a Volkswagen GTI deal he's trying to get done with a breakdown of a couple offers he received back from two local Volkswagen dealerships. Now, some background on him. He's been driving GTIs since I was a little Cub Scout and is probably going to trade in a 2011 that he's had for this thing. Now, initially, when I saw the payment they quoted him, I thought for sure they're either selling it at MSRP or even boosting the sales price by a few thousand, just either in markup or some sort of dealer accessories. But it actually turns out they were being generous and giving him a $2,000 discount. So he reached out to me and asked me for my thoughts. And instead of just immediately responding back with a couple of quick sentences, I thought I'd hold up his whole buying decision by making a big video production out of it and spending a few days getting back to him. Now, I gotta say, looking at the sales data for Golfs in general, like including GTIs, it's easy to see that sales have fallen off a cliff. In 2017, they reached their peak, selling about 65,000 units in the United States, and in 2023, they did just shy of 11,000 units total. Right now, we're seeing about 1,000 units being sold per month in 2024. Now, in the past, it wasn't too crazy to see a base GTIS lease out in the low 300s, especially back in 2017, 2018. And I mean, for a car with an MSRP of about 34 to 35K on average, which is commensurate. You thought I was going to do the word of the day, didn't you? No. Which is commensurate with his MSRP of about $34,591. So 300 to 400 a month is honestly what I'd expect. And really, they wouldn't be doing us too much of a favor by giving it to us at 400 a month with just the inception fees down. Never mind putting down a trade worth $3,400, which is, in his case, what they've appraised his trade at. The typical markup in a GTI is about 7% from what I've been able to get in the past, and 7% off $34,591 is a selling price of $32,169. He's saying one of the dealers actually discounted their own car pretty close to the 7% number. Using his numbers, it was actually about 6.2%. Now, 6.2% off the MSRP isn't exactly terrible given the fact that there are very few GTIs in America right now. Roughly about 2,300, and S's in particular, there's only about 260 available. You'll find about 800 SCs, 230 Autobahns, 500 of the 380 SCs, and 250 of the 380 Autobahns. So if we're sticking to basics, let's just do an S automatic, which is absolutely nuts, my friend, because I would 100% get this thing in stick. However, I'm guessing that my buddy's got some bumper-to-bumper traffic that's going to be included a part of his daily deal. Now, here's the thing. If you purchase, Volkswagen is giving a $1,000 rebate, and with Volkswagen, you always want to check to see if your employer has an affiliation with Volkswagen's partner program, which could get you another $500 knocked off the top. Actually, it's not necessarily limited to employer. I've been a part of Cycling USA, and my membership actually got me $500 knocked off of a Passat deal in the past. And I know what you're thinking. And you're 100% right. I don't even own a bike. I joined to get the rebate. Sorry, not sorry. Now, plugging this all into the lease calculator, the GTI has a 55% residual at 39 months and an absolutely horrific 0.00357 money factor, or 8.57% APR. Now, assuming we got 7% off MSRP, assuming we paid our inception fees due at start, and assuming you did a windmill dunk on that like and subscribe button, we'd be talking about $490 a month. That's not including tax. Again, this is including the fees and first payment, which if we capitalized all this for him and threw in his $3,400 in trade value so that all he's doing is just giving his trade and signing, no first payment, no doc fee, no nothing, we're talking about $425 plus 6.25% Mass state sales tax, which is about $451 if you're in Massachusetts. On the how I'm feeling about this scale, with 1 being pretty terrible and 10 being pretty awesome, I'm giving this a how I feel score of about a 3.8 out of 10. If you're curious, that 8.57% interest rate is what put me over. That in itself is going to cost us $6,600 over the 3-year lease. Whereas if my friend were to buy it instead and apply not only the $1,000 rebate, but also the trade-in credit to his selling price so he gets tax savings, financing it at, say, 4.99% for 60 months, and not pay anything up front, but literally just give his trade, he's at $572 a month with $4,000 in interest being paid over the 5 years, which, knowing him, he'll probably pay it off well before he accumulates any interest. Whereas with the lease, he has no choice but to pay the interest, even if he bought out the lease early. With leasing, there's no avoiding that. Now, something I really enjoyed watching, I was a huge fan of the crash test that the Euro NCAP performed on the GTI. This footage does belong to the Euro NCAP, and I've got to say, I really love how they include the footage from the safety systems test, like the auto emergency braking and pedestrian detection. Now, with regard to the incoming GTI coming in 2026, and it being all electric, listen, I love everything about that GTI, except for the fact that it's all electric. I love the looks, I love the price tag, I love the tech they're putting in it, but the one thing stopping me from getting this thing, if I were in the market, is an engine. Would I get the GTI right now? Abso-freaking-lutely I would. I just would stay very far away from leasing it. You guys, in the description below, you're going to find various resources that'll help you while you're shopping around for a brand new car. Send me your messages on Instagram for any questions you may have. And if you have found this information useful, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.